Hi everyone, welcome back to Learn Tech School with yours truly, Eric. Today on this video, we are going to cover up on Microsoft Excel for beginners, where I'm going to show you on how effectively you can use Microsoft Excel. This course is for both beginners and someone who is currently looking forward to level up his or her skills on Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is a powerful spreadsheet software that you can use it for data organization, data analysis, and calculation. So if you open up Microsoft Excel for the first time, you're going to encounter such kind of display. We are going to start with the blank page here. Let me click on it. So if you happen to open it, Microsoft Excel, this is the blank page that you get out of it. On top, from left to right, we have the menu. So our menu here consists of File, then consists of Home, Insert, Page Layout, Formulas, Data, Review, and View. In every tab of this menu, here we are in Home tab, we have groupings, clipboards. We have also groupings for font. We have also grouping for alignment. We have a grouping for numbers, and we also have grouping for styles, cells, and editing. If you click on the next tab, which is the Insert tab, you'll also find other groupings. Here we have group for tables, we have grouping for illustrations, we have grouping for add-ins, we have grouping for charts. So these groupings, let's say for example for charts, you can create different types of charts. We have also grouping for spark lines. So these are forms of also charts that you can create, like a line graph, column, wins or loss. Also there is another grouping for filters. There is also a grouping for links. There is a grouping for text, symbols. If you click on the page layout, page layout is almost similar to other Microsoft product, exception of a few things. Here we have a grouping for themes. I think themes you cannot find it in Microsoft Word. There's a grouping for page setup. If you are familiar with Microsoft Word, you'll also find page setup is also there. There's a grouping for scale to fit. There's a grouping for sheet options, arrange. If you click on formula tab, there's insert functions. There's auto sum. Here there's also those functions that you need, like sum, average, count, max, mean, and more functions that you want. Recently used, those functions that you have used recently, they will be stored there. There is also financial functions, logical functions, text functions, date and time, lookup and reference, math and trigs, more functions. So this was all of them. They're in the grouping for function library. There's also another grouping known as define numbers. There is a grouping also known as formula auditing. There is a grouping also known as calculation. So if you click on the data tab, also it has its own grouping. So here we have get external data grouping, which you can access your data from access. You can just come here and you click on this part. You can also access data from the web. You can access data form of any document that you have in text from other sources. These are all in this grouping, get external data. There is also another grouping for connection. There is also a grouping for sort and filter, a grouping for data tools, a grouping for outlines. If you click on the review tab, a grouping for proofing, language, comments, and changes. Remember, these review tabs, almost majority of these items are also in Microsoft Word. There's also another last tab, view tab, workbook views. There's a grouping for show. There's a grouping for zoom. There's a grouping for windows, macros. Now, this is referred as a workbook. So a workbook in Excel is a file that contains one or more worksheet. So this is our one worksheet that we have. If I want to create some more worksheet, I'll just have to click on this plus sign. It will indicate for you sheet 2. If I want some more, also I'll just go ahead and click on it. Let me click until 7. So those are my worksheet. Also are referred as spreadsheet, made up of so many cells. So these are the cells here. A worksheet. I can rename this worksheet using any name that I would love. Let's say this is a company. As we know, company, they do have different departments. So if it comes to giving them names, I can give this, let's say like sheet 1, accounting. If I want to rename this sheet, I'll just go ahead and right click on it, then select rename, then it will highlight sheet 1. Click backspace, then type then when I'm done, click on enter. Next, I'll go to sheet 2. Do the same thing. Right click, then rename, backspace. Now this is human resource. Go to the next. Right click, rename, backspace. Now this one here is sales and marketing. Now let me go to the next sheet. This one here will be customer care. And this one here, last sheet, I'm going to name it procurement. Now those are the names of our sheets. Now, the same as renaming, we can also delete a sheet. Let's say, for example, we have this sheet that we don't need it. I can just right click on it, then choose delete. Do the same for sheet 7. Right click, choose delete. Now the sheet will no longer be there. That's how to delete a sheet and rename a sheet. We can decide to add in a new sheet in between accounts and human resource. What I'll have to do, I'll just go before human resource, right click on it, then choose insert. Then after choosing insert, the word worksheet, it has been selected, and I click OK on it. Then a new sheet, it will be created inside here. Then you can give it a name, rename operations. Now that's how to insert in a new sheet in between other sheets. Also, we can rearrange these sheets. Let's say my customer care sheet was supposed to come before sales and marketing. What I'm going to do, I'm going to select in customer care. Then I hold just before sales and marketing. I'm going to release it there. So this one is referred to as a cell. This diagram box here is a cell. So a cell is an intersection point between a column and a row. So this is an intersection point between column D and row 7. I can move it to the next. let's say like this place. Now this one here is an intersection point between column G and row 7. I can place it in another column that is different. Column M and row 13. Now that is our cell, our meeting point. Now this cell, it can move to whatever direction that you want. Let's say I want to move this cell on the right side. So when it comes to on the right side, just hit on tab and it will be moving on the right side that way. If you need to move this cell on the left side, you need to hold on shift and hit on the tab key. Tab key again. When it comes to you moving it on the right side, just hit on the tab key. When it comes to you moving it on the left side, just hold on shift and hit on the tab key. That way. Very, very simple. Let's say this time you want to move it downwards. Just hit on enter. Enter key is going to move this cell downwards. Now when it comes to you moving this cell upwards, just hold on shift and hit on enter key. It will be moving this cell upwards. Also, this can be achieved on your keyboard with the arrow keys. The arrow keys are on bottom right of your keyboard. If, for example, I need to move this cell on the right side, just hit on the right arrow. If I need to move this cell downwards, just hit on down arrow. If, for example, I need to move this cell on the left side, just hit on left arrow. If I need to move this cell upwards, just hit on up arrow. This is the column. Column is represented by alphabets A, B, C, D, E, F, H, G, K. So this is the column. This is column A, column B, column C, column D, column E, column F, G, onwards. Column runs vertically, and we have the rows. Rows are represented by numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can also adjust columns and rows in whatever size that you want. Let's say if I want to increase column C size, I'll just come into column C, then I bring my cursor into the last borderline and I click on it until the symbol of plus sign appears. Then I drag it on the right side. Now that's how I've increased the size of column C. Let me do the same for column H. Click on this borderline, increase the size. That way. For L also, click on this borderline, increase the size. Okay, I can also do that one for F. Also, we can also reduce the column size by just clicking on the same area, then drag it on the left side. Now I've reduced the size of column H. Now that's how to increase and decrease column size. Now let us go to rows. Rows also, we can also increase the size and decrease the size. Let's say I want to increase row 8. I'll head over to row 8. Then I'll select the borderline on the bottom borderline. Then click downwards. I'll be increasing the size of row 8. The same also I can do for row 16. Click on the row position 16. Then click on the borderline for selection. Then drag it downwards. The same also I can do for row 4. Drag it downwards. I can also reduce the size for the row by just clicking on the borderline, the bottom borderline, then reduce its size. That helps to increase and reduce the row sizes. In Excel, there's also the zooming tool. The zooming tool, it enables you to see things clearly. Let's say, for example, I want to see this number in this cell, 45, more clearly. Just click on that number or that cell. Then immediately heading over to the zooming tool, which is represented by this symbol here also. we have the plus here. If I click on the plus, you see that place, it keeps on adjusting to that size. The more I click, the more larger it becomes, and the more clear it becomes. Also, I can click on zooming out to reduce the size. That way, I'm reducing its size. Also, this can be achieved if you head over to your menu and you click on the view place. Then there's also this zoom. You can click on this zoom for more clarity. You can decide whatever percentage that you want. If it is 200, just select 200 and then you click OK. If you want to change the percentage, let's say you want to see it at fit the selection, click on just that place and click OK. That way. Now that's how to use the zoom tool in Microsoft Excel. Inputting data in a cell. So we have this cell of ours here. You can put any form of data that you want, be it a number or a word or a date, whatever type of data that you want. Let's say I want to input in a number. So I'll just head over to the cell and then click on it inside there. Then type in the number that I want. Let's say 45. I've just clicked inside that cell. So what you'll notice here, the number also reflects here in this part. This part is known as the formula bar. Anything that you display on a cell, it will also display on this part. So this one here is the cell reference of our cell here, G7. Also referred in this point, column G, then we have row 7. Now, when I click outside this cell, you see the formula bar is also empty, like this cell. Now that is a new cell. I can also decide to type in a new number here, let's say like 70. Then you'll see it also reflecting here. When I click outside, it also disappears. Also, I can decide to write in the number here on this formula bar, as I said, let's say like 120, that way. Then you see it appearing on this cell. If you click outside, it will also disappear. Now, also in this cell, we can also type in words. Let's say I need to type in an animal name. Let's say like a lion. Just type in lion. You see it also appearing here. Click outside to disappear. Let's say here I want to type in another animal like cheetah. Then it will appear on the cell. Now, also on this cell, we can decide to edit this, make an adjustment of the font size or font type, whatever type of editing, or changing the color. By just clicking on this cell, then drag inside that word, and then you click on bold if you want to make it to be bold. And you'll see it appearing differently. The text inside it will be in bold form. Let's say I want also to increase the font size. Just head over the same place. Then click on this drop down arrow on the font grouping and choose whatever font size that you want. Let's say I want it to be 26. You see it has increased its size. Let us do some basic arithmetic in Excel. I'm going to feed in this cell. Cell B17 with the number 50. Then head over to another cell that is E17. 70. Now for these two, I'm going to do addition of the both of them. So I'll click on this cell. So this cell is going to be my place where I'm going to put in the answer. Then after clicking on it for selection, put in is equal sign. Then choose this cell. Click on this cell for selection. Then hold in on shift and then put in the plus sign. Click on that another cell that has a number that is E17, then hit on enter, and it's going to give you an answer for the both two cells, that is 120. We can also do another one, let's say like 30, then another cell, plus this one here 20, answer here is equal, click on this cell, hit on shift and plus, then click on the next cell, then hit on enter. It's going to give you an answer of 50. This time around we're going to do subtraction, like 30 on this cell, and this another cell 10, and this one here for answering, is equal, click on the cell of 30 minus this cell of 10, then hit on enter. Is going to give you an answer of what? Of 20. Also you can do some multiplication, 5, and that's another cell 7, this one for the answering, is equal, click on this cell for 5, then hit on shift, then click on where number 8 is, there is a star like symbol appearing. Then next, click on where the cell reference of number 7 belongs to, then hit on enter, and it's going to give you an answer of 35. Now this time around, let's just do for division, 28, another cell, and this another cell here like 7, this one here for answering, now is equal, division, this one, click on this cell for 28, then we have hold on shift, click on symbol for a slash like next to shift, then click on the next cell of 7, then hit on enter, then it's going to give an answer 4. Let us continue with our basic arithmetic. Let me head over to procurement sheet and I click on it. So now here we have, these numbers are in row forms. First row 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 rows. These numbers are just the same. We are going to do some basic arithmetic. We are going to start with sum, then we go to average, then count, and then we have max. Now we'll start with the first row. So this row, there is number 30, 20, 40, 50, 60, 30, 90. Now for this, for the first one, we are going to start with sum. Put in is equal sign inside that cell. Then we will type in the word sum. When it pops up among this selection, just double click on it for selection. Then what it says, sum, there's a bracket, then there's number 1, comma, number 2, that way. This is what it actually means. You are going to select where this cell starts, and then until where this row ends. We'll be starting over from selecting that row from 30 to 90. And then we'll close that bracket by holding on shift, and then up there's that 0. You hold on the place where there's 0 to close in the brackets. Hit on enter. Then it's going to give you the sum of these numbers that are here. We can also do the same for this end. This time round here we're going to do average. Is equal, then we'll type in the word average, then select it amongst this, then select this cell first, then drag it horizontally, then close in this bracket, hit on enter. Then it's going to reproduce for you the average of this all numbers. Here this time round we'll be going for maximum number. Is equal, then type in the word max, double click on it, then select where it starts, and then until where it ends, then close in the bracket, hit on enter. It's going to give you maximum number, which is 90. That is true. For count, be selecting this cell, then put in is equal, type in the word count, then pick amongst that, then select this cell and then drag it across to where it ends, then close this, hit on enter. Now it has given us 7. There are 7 digits. Let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are 7 digits in place. Now that is how basic arithmetic is done in Excel. Microsoft Excel has a powerful function known as autofilling. What autofilling does, you put in a value, select a value, then you drag it across. It generates for you the rest of the content on your behalf, be it a number or a word. So here we're going to look to how autofill works. We're going to start with the month of the year in short form, Jan. I'm going to select this cell, then put in my cursor on the dialog box until where the plus sign it appears. Then click and hold, and then drag it on the right side. You see some pop up short form for other months popping up. Then do it that way until where it ends, December, and then just leave it. You see autofilling generate for you the rest of the content that was supposed to be there. Now let us go to January in full. January in full, it will also do the same. Just select the cell, then click on the dialog box, drag it on the right side, that way until where it ends. It provides for you the rest of the months: January, February, March, April, May, June, November, and December. Just try by your own the days of the week, that is Monday in short form and in full, and you'll see the results. Then you comment down on the comment section. Then let's try on the numbers. So when it comes to numbers, just click for selection, the cell of 1, then drag it across to the other cell of number 2, then place in your cursor to the diagonal box, then hold and you drag it on the right side, and you'll see autofilling generate for you the rest of the numbers. That's how to use autofilling in Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to first add some borderlines on this table of ours. I'm going to select it from this cell up to here, up to the end here. Then afterwards, I'll go straight away to where the grouping of fonts is. Then click on this icon here and then select all borders. Then it will apply all borders on those cells. Next, I'm also going to add a new row because I've noticed my table has no title for it. So I'll just go into row number 1 and right click on it, then choose insert, and I click on insert. Then I'll click on the cell just above that row, then put in some title. So my title, I'm going to give it as student performance data. That's it. Then I'll nicely increase its font size of the title at least into 16. Then make it to be bold. Next, I'll center in my title by selecting this cell from where it starts on the table, then up to the end of this table, that is column F. So I'm going to select this from that part up to column F. Then next, I'll go into the group of alignment and find merge and center, and I click on it, and it will automatically center in my title for the table. Then I'm going to increase the font size and make it to be at least 22. Next thing, I'm going also to change in the color of the font and make it to be at least be blue in color. I love blue. I'll go also and do the same for these columns. I'm going to increase the font size and make them to be bold. I can increase the font size at least to be 18. Then also it will interfere with the column sizes, so I'm going to adjust in the columns also once more. Yeah, that's it. It looks more nicer. Next, we are going to do some calculation on this table of ours. So I'm going to start with here, calculating the overall score. Put in is equal. Then next, clicking on a cell where the score is, starting with the maths column. Then put in addition sign, clicking on the next cell, put in another addition sign, clicking on the next cell. Then after I'm through, just hit on enter and it will give you the total for this sum. So we'll be doing the same on the second, on the down cell up to the end of it. But I have other ways of us approaching the same formula by just clicking on this dialog box here and then hold and I drag downwards. What it does, it copies the formula to the rest of the sum and gives me the answer. That is autofilling, the power of autofilling. So next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to calculate the total for individual subjects. So with this cell here, I'm going to put in is equal. But this time round, I'm going to use some formula. But you can also use the other formula for clicking on cell, but it will be long like this one here. Click on cell plus, it will be long and very tiresome. So with me, I'm going to use sum formula. Type in sum and selecting a range from where it starts up to where it ends and closing the parentheses and hit on enter. And it will give you the total sum for this individual subject. So with this, I can just copy the formula by just right clicking on this cell and click on copy and go into the next cell, right click and I paste in. What I'm copying, basically I'm copying the formula, I'm not copying the answer. Copying and pasting the formula. So with this, I can just do also autofilling by just dragging it across this cell and it's going to give me an answer for that. Next, find the average of individual subjects, that is maths, science and English. Put in is equal, type in the word average, then select the whole of this range up to down, close the parentheses and hit on enter. Then it will give me the average, that is 79.2. Then autofill in the rest of the columns. So next, learn how to freeze panel in our table. I'm going to freeze first with the column session. Select this column from this cell up to the end here. Then I'm going to change in the background color for this part into a color that is noticeable. Yellow, it works well with it. I'll head over to View tab. Then look for Freeze Panel and I click on it down. Then what is going to instruct me are options that I have. I can either freeze panel top row or first column. So I'm going to click on first column. The moment you click on it, as I scroll on this, you see this part has been frozen. I can see individual subject score for Paul and the rest. That is how to freeze panel. If I want to remove this freeze panel, just go straight away again to freeze panel session and you click on unfreeze, and it will automatically remove that. Next, you are going to learn also how to freeze panel the top row. So click on freeze panel top row, then scroll downwards. So now it has freeze this panel from this top row of data performance. Let us learn on how to sort data, sorting and filtering. So we are going to start with the first column, sorting this alphabetically, student's name. So you are going to click on this section here, and then you're going to choose A to Z, and it will automatically change. You can also sort this first column from Z to A by just clicking on the same place, and then you click on Z to A, and you see the change. You can sort it from A to Z, Z to A. Just clicking on this, and it keeps on changing. You can also sort numbers from highest to lowest or lowest to highest. Like in our maths column, if you go there and you click on this drop down arrow, then you can select here. We are going to sort this from largest to smallest by just clicking on it, and you see changes appearing. Also, it will affect the name column from highest to lowest. I can also sort the other column, which is science underscore column, from lowest to highest by just clicking on that, and then I click on smallest to largest that way, and it will automatically sort itself. You can also sort overall scores from largest to smallest, and it will automatically change. That's how to use sort of numbers, and also from A to Z. We can also use filter in this. Filter, we can use them to display in results. Let's say if I want to see the results of Paul Walker, I'll just go straight away to column for students underscore name, and I click on it. Then I deselect everything that is there, and I make selection for Paul Walker. Then click OK, and you will only see the results for Paul Walker. Let me clear. For us to return it back to where it was, you just go back to sort and filter, and then you click clear, and it will return back the way it was. Now next, if let's say this time round I want to display results for Eunice Jerry, Winnie Nekesa, and George Wafula. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the same place, student column, then deselect all of it, then I'll make sure Eunice Jerry is selected. Then next I'll scroll downwards and look for Winnie Nekesa and make it to be selected, and then click on George Wafula. Then I click OK, and I'll see the three results for Eunice Jerry, George Wafula, and Winnie Nekesa being reflected. Then if I want it to return to the normal view, just click on clear. Next, let's say this time round I want to display the results of only male gender. So I'll go straight away in gender column here, and I just click on it. Click select all, this section here, deselect on select all, then make sure that male is selected, and I click OK, and I'll only see the results for male gender. You can also filter data in several forms. Let's say I want to filter in numbers. Let me first unclear this, and then I go back. Let's say this time round I want to see, let's say, those students who scored above average. So I'll straight away go to the overall scores here column, and I click on this. Then I'll go to number filter, then I go to above average, and I click on it, and I'll see the students who scored above average. It will give me a reflection of it. Let me clear this, and then I go to the next one. Let's say I want to see those students who scored below average. Then I'll go straight away to overall score, then I deselect, I'll go to number, then I go to below average, and I click on them, and I'll see the students who score below average. Let me clear this. Then next I go to those students that who scored greater than 70 in maths. So straight away I'll go to maths column, then number filter, then I click on greater than symbol here. So here I'm going to write in 70, then I click OK, and it will display for me the number of students that scored greater than 70. Now that's how to use sort and filter in Excel. So let us continue using the same table and learn about how to insert in charts. We're going to use data on student's name. You select on student name first, and then you select also in math score, science score, and English score. I'm going to do the selection first. First one, all on control. Then select math score, second one. Then thirdly science score, fourth one English score. Then after doing that, ensure you insert tab. Go to charts, and here we have several options. You can click on the recommended. The recommended, if it doesn't show you anything, just click on all charts. Then we'll be having a graphical representation of these types of data in bar graph. We'll be having this one here, and there'll be other ones like line graph, pie charts, bar graph, area scattered, and the rest. But we are going to start first with columns. So columns comes in different shapes. You have this one here also. You can also have this one here. You can also have these ones. But we're going to pick in the first one, and you click on OK, and you'll see it popping up in our table. You can just drag it and bring it downwards by holding on this part. Then scroll downwards and you can increase its size by just clicking on the handles here, right handles, and you can increase its size. Now our graph has data represent different information. Now let's edit the graph title here by just clicking inside it, and then we type in our table name. That was student performance data. You can also decide to change its color. By just clicking on this part and choosing fill color, any color of your choice, and you can make it also to be bold, and you can also increase its size to be at least noticeable that way. Now next thing, click on the format area, and we should continue formatting this graph of ours. If we need also to make changes, because this type of information here, we don't know what they are, the y-axis. Here we have those students, several students that we had in our table. We have Paul Walker, Mary Otieno, Nelson, Lillian, Boogie, and the rest. Let me click on this so that you can see all the other data. If you want more adjustment, just click on this, and then there's this plus sign icon. It can give you more details. Let's say if you want to add axes on this, click on the axes. On this place, we can place in scores. And also increase size. Make it to be bold. Increase the size at least to be 16 scores. Now we can also make an adjustment here. On this data here, and we type in students name. And also make this one to be also 16. Now that is my graph neatly presented. You can also go ahead and add in some other formatting if you love other formatting like this one here. The way you want to see your data, it's up to you to decide. on which one among is this that you love. If you love this one, just click on it that way. Now let us also do another representation of this graph data in a line graph. But this time round, you are going to choose two individual subjects and plus the student column. I'll be selecting in this column meant for student's name. Then hold on Control, select Maths and English. Then over to Insert tab. Then this time round, I'm going to select in line graph. I want a line graph here. Let me click on this one and I see how it should look like. What about this one? Now let me pick on this one. Here. What of this one here? It doesn't give me a maybe this one here. I can try this one. Yeah. That is another type of graph that we have. Let me reduce this one here, its size. So that I can place the other one. And you can make also some other adjustments like I did on the previous one. Okay, to be bold, increase its size a little bit. Then add in the axes for scores. Okay, to be bold. This one also increases size. This to be 20. 20 is color. Yeah, that was simple. You can also have a pie chart of this that are being represented in pie chart format. I'm going to click on these students, then hold on Control, click on Maths, then click on Insert tab, go to Recommended, choose on Worksheet, pie charts. Then I'm going to choose on this one here, click on it. Now I'll be selecting how is it representing Maths. I like this one, looks more neat. Then I can drag it below. I can drag it below just and make some few adjustment on it. Now that's basically on how to create charts in Excel. That's the end of our part 1 in our learning section on Excel for beginners. I'll kindly ask of you, if you find this video helpful, make sure you like, subscribe and leave a comment. It really helps me a lot, and let me know what you want to see on the next video.